Howdy everybody, welcome to another episode of COVID Convos, where we have real conversations with real people about what well-being looks like in a time of a pandemic. I'm Simon and we're missing one of our usual hosts tonight, Griggsy. He sent his apologies, but we've got the ever reliable Kesh patching in as well. How are you, Kesh?
I'm doing good, man. Hopefully I can make up for the gigantic loss that is Griggsy. Filling big shoes, but I'm doing all right, man.
Yeah. What's been something exciting that's happened for you today, Kesh?
That's a good question. What's an exciting thing that happened for me today? I went on a very, very nice walk. Very leisurely. I got to see a couple of people. This beautiful young girl with her mom. Yeah, it was just nice getting out and seeing the community. There was a lot of sunshine, which was really nice.
Yeah, that's awesome, mate. And we've got, I think it's a first for the show, actually. We've got two guests joining us tonight. We've got Annabelle and Sophie. Hi, girls. How are you going?
Good, thanks. Good. How are you? I mean, you already answered that, but...
I don't think anyone's asked me, so thanks for asking. I'm going pretty well. Good to see you guys. Thanks for joining us tonight. Can you just each take a moment or two to introduce yourselves to everybody listening or watching? Just a bit about your background and your interests and that sort of thing.
Okay. Hi, I'm Annabelle. Of course, I'll go first. I'm better than the other sister.
Obviously not.
I love netball. I love music as well. I really like public speaking, and I'm a very dramatic person. Yeah, it's probably my life summed up in a sentence. So yeah.
Well, I am Sophie, and I think the only thing that me and Annabelle have in common is our love of public speaking. But I like to sew and embroider and cook. So yeah, and I also really, really love astronomy and science. So that's me.
Different people.
Yeah.
Different but the same.
Yeah.
I've got an interest in public speaking, which is great. You'll probably show up, Kesh and I think. Thanks, guys. And we're also interested in just how things are playing out for you guys lately. What's been happening? Obviously, the COVID situation is still around. Can you just explain to us sort of how things with what you're doing day to day?
Well, yeah, it's pretty good. We're not off too bad because we have a pretty good community around here and some really nice neighbours. And we're not on a toilet paper shortage, so that's a plus.
It's been a little bit difficult sometimes with we've got not recorded Zoom learning with our teachers, which has been a little bit difficult sometimes because, you know, obviously not everything goes to plan. So the internet. It's been a little bit difficult getting around everything. We've had quite a smooth, we've got a good timetable going out and it's been working quite well for us.
Although everything is, like, most of my stuff, it was all perfect at the start of learning, but now all my stuff is scattered everywhere and it's messy.
We also found that it really worked for us when we do a bit of a rearrange of something. We just choose a part of a day, like yesterday. We did a bit of a rearrange of our kitchen, and that helped us all reset, and we felt much better after that.
But I mean, nobody knows where anything is anymore, so that's a downside, but an upside.
Yeah, it sounds great, guys. I should have asked at the start, what year are you guys in at school?
I am in grade 7.
I'm in year 5. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, so I suppose, Sophie, in particular for you, starting in secondary school, year 7, getting a term under your belt, and then this whole thing happens and throws everything on its head. Was that a big thing to sort of get your head around and get used to, or seems like you've sort of been coping fine?
I mean, half. We have a pretty good system at school and most of it was online anyway, but I'm missing being outside with my friends a lot because we have a farm and a creek at our school. So not going there, and I'm not getting as much exercise either, which sort of sucks. But I've coped fairly well. I needed to set up a desk for myself anyway, so that helped. But yeah, it's been bumpy, but you know, a good end result, I guess.
And how about you, Annabelle? Being in grade 5, I suppose you're well settled at your school.
Actually, it's a little bit different. I've been to 3 schools. This is my 3rd, and I started my school this year, which actually was a bit difficult. So basically, I'm like Sophie. I've literally just done a term at my new school, and now I've got to start all over again with an online school, which is obviously a bit hard for me. In case you haven't realised, I'm a bit of a social butterfly. So I found it, the biggest thing I found hard is, like Sophie, not having or not seeing any friends. Like
No social connection.
Yeah, occasionally I will be walking and I'll see one, but we're always like, no. So it's been a little bit difficult, you know, looking at that side of things. But otherwise, I reckon this whole school scenario is going pretty well. Yeah, it's been actually kind of fun. You know, we're not having to go on we're going on a schedule, but not a strict one. So if you need to have like a break there, then you can. And
yeah, I've been liking that, especially because I have as much time as I need to work on a subject instead of it being like boom, boom, boom. Especially math. But yeah, it's been pretty good. Not too bad, yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you guys are right on top of it.
Mostly.
Most of the time. With the social connection stuff, obviously that's seems to be a big one for everyone, and we all, I think, well, increasingly these days understand how important it is for us to maintain those social connections. What are you guys doing in regards to that? Are you catching with friends over the phone or going out across the fence?
Well, my friends are sort of spread out because I have a group of 4 other people, but I have one friend who lives in Mount Eliza with us, but is not like they're 2 streets away, so we can't exactly shout out to each other. But I have been going on Zooms with them a lot. So basically every single day we'll go on a Zoom and talk together. And we've just been texting, which has been good, especially when we're going through classes and we need help. That's probably better than emailing our teachers.
It was also quite nice of me, and because at our school it's quite a small school, so there's like 2 grade 5 classes, and we've kind of got this little chat that we go on, and it's really nice when you video call everyone because you get to see their faces, and it feels like you haven't seen their faces in forever, which is a little bit strange to say. And I thought this would be the first time I've ever said this, but I'm actually missing school. I just want to go back and sitting at a desk.
That's the crazy thing about this whole everything. Like, people before this were like, oh, I don't want to go to work today. Oh, I don't want to go to school today. Do I really have to get on the bus? But now it's more like, can't we just go back to school and work and can we just get our normal routine back? I mean, I'd even go back to school if it means I have to go on the bus, and that sort of sucks. So
what do you think it is that you're missing, or that you look forward to the most going back to school?
I know this is a bit weird, but I actually just look forward to going back and seeing my teachers, because going over the phone, over Zooms isn't the same as seeing someone else. So it's actually kind of nice to be able to go to your teacher, because they would always be there for your help, and you'd just be able to ask them anything at any time. And I also miss kind of going outside, because it was always nice and you'd get quite exercised at school. I've noticed that I need to do a bit more exercise at the moment, because there's been a lot of days just sitting on my bed while this whole rain's going on.
Rain is pretty bad at the moment.
Yeah.
Like, even right now it's not raining, but there are still puddles on the ground. Sort of sucks. But I mean, I like the rain. Rain is good. Most of the time.
And most of the time.
Yeah, rain's pretty important. Just not all the time, I think.
No. I mean, there has to be a balance of everything, right?
I think
That's true. That's a really curious thing to say, and I'm interested because you both have seemed to handle the situation really well. You know, picking up on the things that you've missed, and now you're starting to think about going back to school. I'm wondering if you thought about, you know, is it just going back to school, or could you like go back to school and change a few things? You know, are there some things that you would keep that you're doing right now?
I actually think when we go back to school, probably around term 3 or something like that, when we do go back, it won't be exactly the same.
No, definitely not. It's never the same.
I don't actually think that it's going to be really strange, because I feel like most people are going to be working. Like, obviously, both our class, the whole school won't be interacting as more, and I feel like there may be a little bit of a difference, like a bit more of a rule placed in, or we're a bit quieter, or I actually feel like it's going to be really strange, because I'm getting so used to working on everything basically on an iPad. So it's going to be really strange and use books again in a long time.
I mean, definitely keep the library. I think when we get back to school, they should abolish the library amount of books you can get from the library rule, because honestly, books on your phone aren't as good as books on paper. Like, I don't know anybody who prefers it. I reckon, that's actually a really good question. There's a lot of things that I like about my school. Maybe more outside time, like working outside instead of just most of it being in the classrooms, because that's something I've really missed, is being outside basically all day, especially on some days, because they have a fitness club that I go to, well, used to go to. And so that was really nice, that, you know, more outside.
I've also found another little bright side, a bit of a bright side towards this, is we found a lot more learning tools, and I've noticed I've been able to extend everything much more. We've been using Kahoot, which is a bit of a fun way to get started, like capital cities, and I've got like a world map in my room, so I think everything's kind of, even though this has been not the greatest, like it hasn't been the best, we have found quite a few lights out of this, a little bit of a bright side.
And we've also established a more strict routine. Like before I was going to school, I'd sort of, my alarm would go off at 6, but then I'd be like, oh, I'll wait 10 more minutes. But now it's just like, get up, get dressed, have a shower, just get ready for the day, have a cup of tea. And I found that was good, because I'm less, not lazy, but just getting up more often.
I'm really curious. What do you think changed that? I think, you know, all of us, I know myself included, struggle with that, you know, waking up in the morning and getting out of bed, and, you know, and I found the same thing, that during COVID, I've been way better with all of that. Like, I want to get out of bed there, you know, I love getting up in the morning now. I'm getting up way earlier, which is really surprising. So I'm curious, what is it about this experience that's made you guys get into that routine?
That's a good question. I think we did change over from daylight savings, so that might have some play in it. But I reckon just being able to get up and do your own thing.
It's kind of been nice. Every morning I'm quite motivated. A, to get into the shower before my sister, and B, just, it's kind of nice now waking up and knowing that you're able to have a bit of a calm morning, but also I like getting things done quite early.
Yes, so yeah, that's a big plus, getting stuff done early. But I think I like to have my 2 or 3 hours in the morning before school starts, because I find that sort of helps, like just calming down and reading a book and whatever before school starts is good. So I don't have to wait on the bus and whatever.
Yeah.
So that raises an interesting thought for me, guys. I don't know whether there have been things you've learned about yourself during this time of shutdown, or whether you were always aware that they were your sort of preferences. But is there anything else that you've learned about yourselves during this time, and the sort of the mix up and of your routine and staying at home and having to adapt and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, well, I think there are sort of 2 things. Number one, I found a bunch more skills that I have learned. And also we did strength profiles, and that was pretty good because we learned some interesting things. Like I found out, because I don't like organizing, but I feel really good once I've organized, like, you know, just sort of skills and stuff that we didn't really realize.
Yeah, I have to agree. We did the strengths profile, and I felt like I got them laminated and put it up in my wall, and I felt like every time I looked at that, I would look back and I'd go, okay, well, these are kind of the strengths I need. We also did this thing called
The VIA Institute.
we've done this other thing it's called Skillshare, and we've been there's many things like it, but we've just been having a look at it and going through trying our best, because they've got like all different kind of things. Like soon I'm going to learn how to make coffee art, because I pour the milk into my mum's coffee every morning and bring it into her, so I need to learn how to get more advanced with that.
Maybe I should learn how to do chai art.
Also watercolors, you know, like
watercolors.
a wide range. So.
Oh my god. I didn't realize how much watercolor I actually had until I got it all out, and then I found I really liked watercolors. Like, it's pretty relaxing. And I've also gotten back into sewing, and I just got into embroidering. I actually made this dress. This is me.
Awesome.
I'm glad I wore this today. But yeah, just a bunch of new stuff that I didn't realize I enjoyed. I did learn that I'm very, very bad at drawing, though. Very bad at drawing.
Not one of your strengths, Sophie. No.
So most of my drawings end up scrunched up in the bin. So maybe I should just leave that skill alone and not touch it.
No, I will make you better at drawing.
No, Annabelle.
Okay. Sisterly love. I have to admit though, what I kind of do I know this is a bit random, but on the drawing subject, I always make like, you know, the perfect design of what I want it to look like, and then I get to the face and it turns up looking not very nice, let's say.
Watercolors is good, but drawing is hard.
Ish. For us.
Yeah.
And do you think that you would have come to these skills if you didn't have the time to, I guess, stop and reflect and be bored?
No. I mean, maybe. I was doing sewing before, but I mean, I wasn't doing this sort of stuff. I was making little handbags that didn't turn out awesome, and I really had time to hone on the skills. But no, I don't think I would have.
I have to agree with her. I feel like I haven't, you know, because I was really busy. I had a lot of activities normally that I do when I've got a normal school week. So I actually found having this little bit of time it's kind of actually been like just a reset time.
Yeah.
It's been really lovely, and we've been, you know, as I said, I learned some new strengths. I've been learning new skills. I've been it's kind of like I've just opened up a new door in my brain. And I have to agree, Kesh, with the having to be bored. You know, you don't get excited without being bored. So it kind of makes sense you have to have boredom to create a new idea or something.
And I found out that the times I work best, which is actually super early in the morning, and much to my family's annoyance, super late in the night. So that's been a good and a bad, because some of the nights they'll be shouting at me from the bedroom to go to bed because it's 9 o'clock. But yeah, I found out that, you know, like something that I didn't know about myself. I mean, I sort of did, but not really.
That's great, guys. It's awesome to hear from a couple of young people how well tuned in you are to yourselves, I think, and this whole experience, and that you're rolling with the punches as best you can. And not only that, you're making the most of it and getting some good stuff out of it. We're unfortunately getting close to the time that we've got available. Is there anything else that we haven't had a chance to discuss so far that you were hoping to sort of bring up, or any messages you wanted to send out to all the people listening?
I did have one message to send out to everyone listening. Just keep going, because it may be a little bit difficult at the moment, but just imagine what it will feel like when we do go back to school. We can go social, interact, and just think about everything that you can do to make the world, well, a better place. And know that like everyone else is going through it too. So if you're finding it difficult, don't think you're the only one, and be sure to talk to someone.
Yeah, and also a little bit of kindness goes a long way. Like even just if you're going for a walk and notice it's been really windy and everybody's bins had fallen over, just picking up their bins or putting a nice note in a letterbox. Like, you know, being kind isn't gonna hurt you. We're all in this together. We got to be nice to each other.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Even nice to your sisters, I think.
No. We're all a bit sick of each other.
Time for a break.
Yeah.
Thanks again, guys. It was awesome to have you on. You're both obviously very bright, wise, smart girls, and I think our future's in safe hands with you guys coming up through the ranks. When you kick us all out and take over, it'll be a much better world.
Yeah, we're just nodding along to this.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having us come to this conversation. It's actually been really nice.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. All right. Thanks, everyone else, for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until we see you again in another episode, you stay healthy, world.